Conversation with the God, chapter 6. Chapter 6. The pressure of being a teenager. Question: why is there so much pressure from parents, from school, from everyone? 15-year-old boy in Oregon. Oregon. Answer: pressure is a condition of life, but there's probably more of it. But there is probably more of it felt during your teenager years than almost any other time of your life. No, the pressure comes later when you marry and have a family member with children and unbearable spouse. Then you're gonna see what's really precious. At least so for a woman who stays home, that's where the pressure comes from. Nothing else. Being teenager is peanuts compared with you having a family to support. Okay, whether you are a father, family man, or family woman, it's not easy. That's where the pressure comes from, and not teen time. Teen time is more like blissful, carelessness, all about freedom. Okay, it's one of the most beautiful time in our lives. I know that in the beginning, the first 3 years of teenager years, it's not easy. Who has been through it knows, depending on your culture and your circumstances, where you are, etc. There's many variants to it. How you feel during your teen time. However, overall, it is the first 3 years of teen years are the most difficult because you're gonna have, for some people, you're gonna have a lot of the little demons in your head telling you to do stupid things, or sometimes you even contemplate doing stupid things in your life. Okay, so it's not easy, and you must be very strong in your, I would say, 13 above, 14 above, 14. So there will always be someone who wants something from you. If they want it from you more than you want to give it, faster than you can do it, you feel the pressure. Even if all they want is what you want, you can feel pressure to keep your words and what you said you are going to do. So pressure is a part of teen life for sure. Not always, depend on the family and many circumstances. I didn't have any pressure from my mother and sisters because I didn't have a unbearable, brute, uh, um, you know, uptight father to command and tell me what to do and then punish me if I don't do his will. But it can be a good part. It needn't bother you. It can be present, but needn't be a negative. It can be a positive. Positive what? The pressure in your tires is what keeps them rolling. The pressure in a cooker is what produces the meal. Thus, pressure can be good. If you keep the pressure on, you can accomplish things. Sometimes even great things. This is called creative stress. The whole, the whole universe, in fact, is a stress system. One thing is pulling against the other all the time. This is what creates balance. It's actually what keeps everything in place. It doesn't have to be this way anyway. It was created this way, going through duality, but didn't have to be this way in the first place. Okay? It was an invention by the Anunnakis. But there's some Cancerians out there when that girls Cancerian, even the 11-year of age, they want to run away from home with a man, a guy, whatever, male. It's just like because they don't want to help the mother do house chores, wash the dish, do the dishes, clean the floor, help the mother in something. They don't want to. I did all that. I did it pressure without my mother telling me that I should do or beat me or scold me for doing that. I would have been a wonderful daughter, very, very wonderful daughter and mother. So my mother never have to beat me for it like some others who complain that their mother beat them. They run away at the age of 11 because they couldn't put up with the pressure of helping their mothers at home. But they rather help a meal later on at home, cook for them, you know, um, do those chores for them. They do it with pleasure. But for their kids and their mother, they won't do. Only because you have pleasure on the way. After that, they will get rewarded with some other X pleasure. This is what these people care about. Some kind of maniac. Because on the mind, they don't have other things to think about and to be about. Like learning. I don't feel like everything's in place. I feel like I am under too much pressure. Pressure is a delicate thing. Too much of it pulls things out of place. Everything gets out of balance. Yeah, that's what I try to say. The problem with Anonex demons and humans that they put on too much pressure in something. And that's when things go out of balance. And that's what I say. If it didn't had on the first place, we didn't have to worry about it going out of balance. You know what I mean? So this is the kind of pressure you're talking about. It can come from parents and they show up a lot in school. Much of this pressure comes from the conflicting sets of data with which young people are working. Their heart is telling them one thing about life, the outside of words telling them something else. Partly, yes, because they are in the crossroad. They are in a swinging string. They don't know which side to turn if to their front, the back, right or left. They are in a dilemma. And in decision they make, okay, they will. It's okay. I mean, in life, it's all about experiences, like I always say. But be careful which road you take for a long period of time. So the side of them dim something else, yeah, because the affluence, all about affluence, is also influences and affluence, peer pressure, etc. As I say, that's right. So how do I deal with it? How can I get my parents in my school to get with it? It would be inaccurate to assume that your point of view about things, what is right, and that the view of your parents and the school is what is wrong. Later on, we'll talk about this concept of right and wrong and how those two polarities don't really exist. For now, it might be helpful to consider the possibility that what works in the life that you are collectively creating is your world, and your world may lie somewhere in between. In other words, you are not entirely right, and older adults are not entirely right either. But it's what he wants, not what the others want. I mean, even if he has to pay in future, he cannot possibly blame his parents. He make a decision, and whether he have to pay sooner or later is up to him. But let he have his way. That's how I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but so what? Each soul knows what they want for themselves. Explain to your parents what your priorities are and the importances in life that you have identified, upon which you base these priorities. Exactly. Then ask them to explain to you theirs, even though you've heard it before a million times. See if there is any place where the two can meet. Mm, yeah, of course. Must talk with the parents, but sometimes the parents are so narcissistic, so bureaucratic, so authoritarian that they don't want to listen to their teens because they think they have always the last word. Luck for me, I didn't have parents like that. I'm not talking about my parents. I'm talking about other parents that people are complaining about and other parents that I have been. One time I did this to my daughter. Oh my God, I said, God help me because she was not doing well. Every time there's calling at the home, and she was only 12-year old, and I never see people come out from home at 6 in the dark and come back late at night at 8 p.m. I never saw it. This never happened to her siblings, neither to my grandmother looking after. Never. They always return home by 1 o'clock maximum. 1 o'clock maximum. When they were on the same school, at the same class, the same level or standard as this older daughter of my Syrian. They are really terrible, they like to they give problem to us. Not say they are giving problem to me, they are give to themselves alone. They are give problem to others because I have to go from home. I have to cook. I have a 3-month-old baby. I had to take a bus and I go all the way to school with a baby on the arm to talk to the teacher almost every day. Or there's almost every day call at home. And as a mother, I will be there to guide her. I have another one who is K2. I had to take the class as well. A 3-month-old baby, and this in he has her brother who was in primary 6 or grade 6. I have to take care of the other youngest one, and she was not the queen. She supposed to be the queen of them all, and not that she would come back home. She had to do the dishes or clean the floor or cook. She wouldn't do nothing. What she would do after school was take a shower, eat, go to the phone, blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, and then go to her homework and sleep just to wake up by 6 or 8 a.m., go to school and come back at night again. The teacher would call me and say that she was with a group of the others like her in the nearby channel and do stupid thing there or smoke, you know. 13-year-old. So who would not get cross like that? How many times did she go to university? I would be called. She was already 18. I was called at the university to talk about her behavior. And then when the teacher would call me, the psychology, a school psychologist, I would say, hello, ma'am. I'm busy. I have a child to take care as well, a young child. That time her brother was autistic, and I also have to take him to hospital to check up for his autism because she was in nursery at that time. Okay, and he couldn't keep quiet, and I have to send you also her sister who was in primary. I don't know that time, primary one, grade 1 or 2. I have to send also for ears checkup or nose checkup, or she have any other trauma in school, like she couldn't pass urine because she was afraid to ask the teacher, too afraid, and then she will get some urinary tract infection. I have taken her, and the father didn't care. It's all on my shoulder to do all the things beside the the house chores, in the cooking, in the groceries buying. Like I was a slave for all these people. And then came a time I was overbearing. I was like I couldn't take any longer. So you must understand those the parents' point of view. I couldn't take it any longer. So I just see, I just bust up. I sorted out. I now say I just couldn't take anymore. I was overwhelmed with stress myself. So I told the psychologist, say, hello, why are you calling me alone? You know that makes two to have a baby. And I didn't enjoy the sex. I say bluntly, I didn't enjoy the sex. Why don't you call the father? There's something like a father. Wait, ma'am, you know why? Because she is more comfortable with you. Oh, more comfortable with me because she can take advantage of me. She's manipulating me. You think that she listen to me? You don't know who this kind of a daughter I have at home. You don't know her character. Since she was 13 years old, she has given me problem and more problem. I have been to school all the time to sort her problem out with the teachers there. So I went to her university and talked and she blah 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 because she need parents who can listen to her. I said she listened to me when I want to talk to her. She listened to me, or she escaped to her relative's house. You think that she sits down and talk to me? She wants to talk to me or to anybody else, or she cares about her family, about that she have a younger brother who is autistic. You think she cares? She's always there at her father's cousin's relative's house. She doesn't care. So what you expect me to do? To beat her up all the time? So to say, no, no, it's not about beating here. It's about listen. She doesn't want to talk to me. This what you don't not understand from me. No, because to raise a kid need to be this and that. I say hello, Miss. Who is the mother here? Do you have any kids? No, I don't have. Oh, how do you know? This the same thing I say to the principal at the high school. I said, do you have kids? No. But I studied psychology and I have studied kids psychology. I say, listen, what you know is just theory, yet to be put into practice. Do you understand? Now I want to see you being there, doing that, experiencing the fresh and in the mind, what's to have to take care of all these people alone in a foreign country without parents, without family, without social life, without a life. You think also that I'm not overwhelmed? Then she couldn't answer me because she knew that me too needed help. And then she turned to my daughter and I said, you need to understand also your mom's point of view. It's not all about you who's suffering. And then she only 18-year-old like this. I say, when I was 16-year old, I was away from home. I was live on my own. Do you know that? And I walk in a childcare of a cleaning baby's butt. Do you know that? And I still send money to mother to another state in my country. Do you know that? And then she, 18-year-old, and still doesn't want to think properly like this, like a 12-year-old retarded child. I just say, I have enough of her, I have enough. When I was 17-year-old, 16-year-old, I live on my own. At 17-year-old, unfortunately, I got married. Unfortunately, why she don't talk about her father? Why she don't talk about what her father do to her? I mean, beating her head. They doesn't sit to talk. His way of discipline was to go there and beat, and then she will paint the father like the good one, and I am the all the bad one just because she knew that I was a foreigner and I was the mother. So it's always the punch back, the punch back to be martyrized in the family relationship. Still, she doesn't get. She's a 39-year-old male, and she still doesn't get. She's still marrying and remarrying. The man's dumping her, and she married again, again, and again. Now have two children and still married. Those kids 2 and 8, and she still keep on marrying, non-stop, looking for males. What? Syrians, what to expect? So now like sex maniac. And when I tell this to her, I say, you're a sex maniac, isn't it? No, I is not about money. What about money? What? Woman, you have been supporting men, not men supporting you. You have been supporting those males. It's my life. But she get defensive and close to me. It's about my life. So what? Nobody helped me. I say, how could I have helped you when I couldn't even help myself in this country? Her job was to help her mother, like I have helped my mother, and my sister also have helped my mother. All together helped my mother to get away from our abusive father. But she didn't. She only care about herself. It's all about her. But when she goes to go talk, she still clings for help, you know, like helping, uh, asking people to help father drive her here and there, and I cannot do things on her own. And I still, all her talk is about male. When she talks all about relationship, she doesn't stop to think about business, about a good job, find a good job, um, give your kids a good example in life, like don't smoke, don't find many men, etc. Of course, she doesn't smoke, but I mean, just say it as an example. Or don't go neglect your children, leave on to the maid to take care. Pay more this to your kids since you work part time. And she still need to talk about all these males, not male or in the relationship. I'm not interested, so she go to her younger brother. But when the younger brother were young, she was out of the picture, and now was alone to take him to hospital, to send him to amusement park, to parks. When I called her, she would leave me halfway down the road on the bike, take another bike and go meet friends at McDonald's. She did that. So until I give up on her entirely, totally hopeless uh, creatures or a creature or a female creature. So explain to your parents what your priorities are and the potency. So and if there isn't, so then ask them to explain to you there, even though you've heard it 4 million times. See if there is any place where the two can meet. And if there isn't, then you may start to believe that you are getting pressure from your parents. That may not be what is actually happening. It may seem as if you and your parents have entirely different interests. It is not what I have observed to be true. But I can see that certainly looks true to you from where you are seeing things. So it will be seen as though a lot of pressures come at you from your parents and from school. Yeah, but if the parents don't give, sometimes they make up. Nevertheless, they always make up. When the parents are too good, they climb on the back and I make the parents like a horse. They take advantage and try to manipulate their way. That's okay, it's your life, but don't compromise people because your parents already have done their mission to brought you up. They could have thrown you away in the orphanage or for adoption, but they didn't. If they didn't, then they took responsibility for what they had done, bring you into life, right? And also, your parents cannot take it for granted, then abuse you at the same time. But what I'm saying here is that when we are too kind, they will take advantage of the mother and the father. Sometimes the father, sometimes not always, sometimes because always the string kind of break on the weaker point, the weaker side, and they tend to go to to um, to flip all the blame on the mothers. So, oh, believe me, there's pressure from everywhere. A lot of it comes from my own friends too. Sometimes they want me to do something or act in a way that doesn't feel like me. I'm never sure what to do. If I stay true to myself, I'm on the outs with the group. If I stay true to the group, I'm not being myself. So what? Do what you want. So be the leader yourself. Why you want people to manipulate you for? That's what I did in school. I don't like nobody put the reins on my back. I call those shots. I don't call your shot. I call my shot. Don't come to me and tell me to call your shots. Otherwise, I'm gonna get really angry. I ask them to, that word there. I am short of patience with stupid people, pushover. I hate pushover people. I don't oblige, but I don't force nobody to do what they want. Neither do I want from me. So don't do to others that which you don't want for yourself. It's a mode that I love the most. Remember this for the rest of your life. It may be one of the most important things you ever hear. Betrayal of yourself in order not to betray another is betrayal nonetheless. It's the highest betrayal. Correct. That's my mode. That's my mode. So in other words, why must you do what people want? Maybe you are just giving excuse and shift the blame to other people. You know, it's your choice whether you want it or not. But because you want, you still don't want to take the blame, you shift onto others. Why should you? So don't do. That's simple. They're not going to kill you because you don't want to. And if they do, well, get off the school. I would do that. I'll tell my parents to take me away from that school or I'll do some stupid thing. Because when I was in school, I was just an 11-year-old girl. I was in grade 6 already. Yeah, 6. 11-year-old. And they have these idiots there, the idiot guys in grade 9 or 8 in the same school who come and try to abuse me and the girls. I was the type that I don't want to talk to guys so much, you see. I don't like, because I was a kid, I was 11-year-old. What this big buffalo want to talk to me for? Tall, big, uh, 15-year-old above. What you want to talk to 11-year-old girl for? What do you want? You can, hello, girl, if he wires hair, call me wire hair, and call me fire hair. And I didn't like this nickname. Hello, fire hair, girl. You are very cute, then come and touch my cheek, my chin, and I didn't like it. And I say, you get away from me, don't touch me. I say, whoa, she's so brave, she's so fierce. Oh, I'm scared of you. I say, one day you see, you're gonna be really scared of me, because one day you see, if I go to a prison, you watch out, you bastard. The other day I came for a knife. They come to me and say, you come near, I'm gonna knife you. You don't come near me. Then my friends, all the Afros girl was like, oh my God, you dare. I say, I dare. They don't come near me. I dare. I tell you, I dare. Say, wow, you be careful. One day you'll see. I say, no, you'll see. You better you pray that I get out of this school, because I say in this school I'm gonna kill one of you. You don't mess with me, you understand? Then I say the bad word and I took the bus home. The other day they tried to touch me again. I give him a punch, he come after me to beat me. I beat him also. He beat me, I beat him back. I kicked and I beat him. I almost gouged his eye. I scratched his eye, I want to pluck out one of their eyes out. And then I put my fingers inside his stomach. He pushed me, not bad, you want to help me in that. I myself, from young, I already battled this bastard alone. You know? So why you want to be coward for, and then say, oh, someone else forced me to do this and that? No, they didn't force you. Unless they took you by force and put you inside a car, take you to another state or countryside, wherever, then you couldn't come back, then it's another thing. So if you are trying to avoid betraying another but must betray yourself in the process, then you are still committing betrayal. It's merely a question of whom you are betraying, not whether you are betrayed. If you are trying to avoid betraying another but must betray yourself in the process, then you are still committing betrayal. It's merely a question of whom you are betraying, not whether you are betrayed. Yet, when you are betraying yourself, you are betraying another as well. Because the you that they think you are is not who you are at all. It's a false you. You have betrayed yourself and another. Correct? Therefore, never betray yourself. Remember the words of Polonius to Hamlet, written by William Shakespeare. To thine own self be true, and he must follow as the night the day. Thou canst not then be false to any man. Do not worry about the group. The group will go away, correct? One day it will simply not be there. Yet you will never go away. Go away. You will be with yourself until the end of time. Correct. Does that mean to only do what I want to do? It means decide more honestly why you want to do a thing. If you want to do something in order to please another person or group, and if the doing of it does not please you, but you are thinking of doing it anyway, don't do it. When you please another at the cost of your own integrity, you please no one. For not even the other, if they really love you, they want you to do something that made you go against yourself only to please them. I hate this kind of people, like to please the others and think that people value you for it. If they knew you were going against yourself to please them, what did it would have exactly the opposite effect. What you did would have exactly the opposite effect. It would not please them, but rather it would make them uncomfortable. So I'm going to repeat it. It means decide more honestly why you want to do a thing. If you want to do something in order to please another person or group, and if the doing of it does not please you, but you are thinking of it, do it anyway, don't do it. When you please another at the cost of your own integrity, You please no one, but not even the other. If they really love you, they want you to do something that made you go against yourself, only to please them. If they knew you were against going against yourself to please them, would have exactly what you did would have exactly the opposite effect. It would not please them, but rather it would make them uncomfortable. So how can I best deal with all the pressures I'm facing? Learn to feel the difference between good pressure and bad pressure, between useful pressure and useless pressure. Useful pressure is the intensification of your own desire to be, do, or have something that you yourself have chosen to be, do, or have. Useless pressure is the anxiety that results from your need to be approved of someone else. Never do anything to please another. Correct. That's a pretty radical statement. It sounds more radical than it really is. There are many times in life when it will please you to please another. In that case, you do it. Or when it does not please you to please another, should you refrain from doing correct again. It always pleases you to please another when you and the other share the same self-interest, correct? And when you are in the mood and you want to do it. In other words, when you both want the same thing, exactly how I think. The trick is to look at what another person wants and what you want and examine those things closely. If you examine them very closely, you will be surprised at how often you will find something in what the other person desires that you desire also. It's fine to see areas where you hold mutual interest that the elimination of bad impression is accomplished. When you find common ground, you lose ground for anger. Remember that always. When you find common ground, you lose grounds for anger. I cannot keep anger when people come with injustice towards me. I'm gonna repeat this nonsense come out. That's pretty radical statement. It sounds more radical than it really is. There are many times in life when it will please you to please another. In that case, you do it. Only when it does not please you to please another should you refrain from doing it. It always pleases you to please another when you and the other share the same self-interest. In other words, when you both want the same thing. The trick is to look at what another person wants and what you want and examining those things closely. If you examine them very closely, you'll be surprised at how often you will find something in what the other person desires that you desire also. It's fine to see areas where you hold mutual interest, that the elimination of bad pressure is accomplished. When you find common ground, you lose grounds for anger. Remember that always. When you find common ground, you lose grounds for anger. All of a sudden, it becomes clear to you that you are doing something, not just because someone else wants you to do it, but because you want to do it for reasons that benefit you. Correct. Give me an example. Is suppose your mother asks you to babysit your little brother. Huh? Yes, you feel that way because something that you don't want to do. Duh. But what if you found out is to want to do it? You mean like getting paid? That's one it. Why should you get paid? My God, I never did my mother anything for payment. Even when my mother want to give me pocket money to take to school, I say no, I don't want it. Keep for yourself. No need. Sometimes I walk to school so that I won't have to bother my mother for transport money or whatever. I walk with my friends. In fact, I enjoyed the walk. It was around how many kilometers? 20 kilometers around this range, 20 kilometers. But I enjoy because first of all, I walk very fast. And second, I will talk. I have more time with my friends. So instead of going at the 2:30 or 2:45 to school, I would go around 11, 1 o'clock. Then we walk on the way, stop by, take ice cream, walk. Oh, I was so happy. And I never bothered my mother for money. Why should these people bother? What a trash. I don't know. Trashy, I would say, um, generation of people. That's one reason. There could be others. Payment comes in many forms as does profit. Remember that always profit comes in many forms. You may choose to quote this wisdom later in conversations with your parents and others when they begin discussing success with you. But getting back, supposing you've been trying to prove to your mother that you are responsible enough to stay out after a certain hour or to take a job in town next summer or whatever. Now you've got a different agenda. You say to your mom, I'm going to show you how good I can do this because I want you to get that I can do other things just as well. I want you to know that if I can be trusted to take care of my little brother, I can be trusted to take care of me. That's correct. That's a way of growing up. And I did take care of my nephews. I had nephews. I didn't have little brother because I did have, but from my father's side of another woman, but not my mother. My mother was the last. So when my sisters married and stayed with us, the children also I would help to look after, take to park, enjoy with them the seesaw and swing. I love children. From young, I love children and animals, of course. Wow, I never thought of saying anything like that. I could you come to my house and just leave some little notes around for my mom? That's funny, but later on we are going to be talking about some real good ways to communicate with parents. And a leaving little notes in which you put your feelings is one of them. Or nowadays, text message. But going back, do you get the example? There are others I could give you. I think I see what you are saying. Almost everything you do because at some level you can see your own interests being served. It's not just about the interests of the person making you do it. Now, the seeing of your own best interests in the interests of another is a miracle that changes everything. It eliminates all sense of pressure and resentment. Replace it with a sense of joy in the doing of what you are doing. Another word for this is love. No, I don't think this is love. When you are doing things for self-interest, now I'm gonna read again. Almost everything you do because at some level you can see your own interest and say, no, that's not me. I swear by God, and not by God, by the cosmos, that I never did nothing for my mother for self-interest. Much to the contrary, I did that to please my mother, to make her happy. I would massage her back. I would color her hair when it's gray, make her pretty. I would cut her hair. I would do her nails beautifully. You know, I would massage her head whenever she had a headache. I would sit down on a chair, ask her to sit down on the floor, and I was just what? 10, 11-year-old girl. 10 and 11-year-old. Imagine the pain she felt when she lost me when a devil took me away from her. Devil from the east. And she would sit down there and I would massage her temple until she felt better and I go to sleep on the bed. After she have done all her chores and I go now because she take a lot of sun on the head. And then she wants to headache. And this only happened. I didn't want mom. Okay, mom, now give me $10 now or $5 for me to eat ice cream. Never did that. I don't want nothing in return. I don't even want her to cook for me. Possible. When I grew up more, I started to bake my own cake and I cleaned the house for her, tied up all the house. Sometimes she didn't even want it because I would make a total clean up, taking all those shoes and put also in the store. All those shoes that nobody use anymore, put on the store to give for charity or whatever. So I would never ask anything in return, anything from nobody. But if I had, I'll always help. During the Christmas time, I will buy all the grocery for her to make the Christmas party. You know, all the things I would buy that she needed. During Mother Days, there's always something I give her: a flower, a perfume, a clothes. Sometimes she didn't even want that. She didn't even want it. I'll give her. But I say, Mom, here, Mother's Day. Nowadays, I don't get nothing. So why you didn't want when I'm giving you to you with love, a flower, a bouquet of the soap, or when Mother's Day, I never forget one card, one flower, one bouquet of the flower, a set of the cooking, baking cook made of grass so that she wouldn't use that aluminum. And that was in the 1970s, 1979. I was a kid, I was a 13-year-old kid. I was saving money to buy her that. And sometimes she would not even appreciate that, you know. Like she say, what for you waste money like that? I don't want that. I'm gonna sell it back. You know, she would say that. And okay, I say, but I buy for you because I don't want you to use aluminum pots and pan to cook. And this one goes straight from the oven to the cooker. No, but I don't want that waste of money. I say, okay, as you wish. It's okay. Never mind. I never take it too hard and never, I scold my mother. You are grateful. No, I say, okay, never mind. Okay, then sell. Sell to the neighbors, you'll sell half price. Okay, never mind. No problem. I give to you, that's what matters. So next time you want the money, I have the money, I give you the money. So now the seeing of your own interest is the interest of another. It's a miracle that changes everything. It eliminates all sense of oppression and resentment. I never did nothing for because I want something in return. That's nonsense. Not everybody's like that. Replace it by sense of the joy and joy of what you are doing. Another word for this is love. No, love is doing unconditionally. That's what love means. Love is doing things unconditionally. So that's all for chapter 6.